Hey, Draco, and welcome back to my playthrough of Jurassic World Evolution. Now, I've done a little bit, like as I said, I wouldn't make you guys sit through a lot of the long, drawn-out, boring bits, because there's sometimes in this game where there's a lot of kind of waiting and being patient. Me personally, I enjoy the game, but some people might not like that for the video, so I'm trying to limit as much of that as possible. So I've done a little bit. I put a second hotel down because I always prefer just having two of them down on any island, and later on if I need to add more. I put some stuff here which are giving me a lot of revenue, as you see down below, and I'll get to what I'm going to do with that in a moment. But yes, so we have gotten quite a bit so far. There's my Hatchery that I've been working on. But first we're going to do a main mission. Now we'll do her mission first. Now she wants me to incubate and release a Triceratops. Alright, can we increase its life expectancy? Because that would be preferred. Okay, so it's one of these two that increases life grade. Use that one. Yeah. Alright, the one thing I didn't mention when I was going through here last time is this feature, the habitat, the stress, and this one. These will come into play later when I do the Dr. Wu part, because the Dr. Wu DLC didn't get added till later, and it's one of the things that I absolutely love was added, because it added genomes that fixed certain problems and annoyances dinosaurs had. Like sometimes dinosaurs, they preferred certain ranges when it came to forest or grasslands, where if there wasn't enough forest they'd get picky, if there wasn't enough grassland they got picky, wetland, same thing. And it got bad because sometimes there was enclosures where you really couldn't increase more even though you wanted a dinosaur. And that's where this comes in. In the habitat area, that fixes that up. But more importantly, the stress every dinosaur has like a bar of their comfort, and when it gets in the red zone, they're going to start trying to break out. This makes it so that way you can increase their comfort percentage to make sure that it takes them a lot longer before they actually get to the point where they want to break out. And then finally this one, which actually is probably the best one. It will increase social. For instance, some dinosaurs only like to be a solitary thing. So T-Rexes, in the base game, they are they're pretty much one T-Rex per paddock, that's it. So I'll quickly deal with that. But yeah, so T-Rexes in the base game only one per paddock. However, with this you're easily able to edit that, because you can use the social thing, increase it. So if you it increases the minimum and maximum, so you would increase it 2 by 2. So you could have two T-Rexes in a paddock together, and they wouldn't try to kill each other. They'd have territorial disputes, but they never lead to bloodshed. The only time two dinosaurs of the same species actually fight is when either their population or social is too high. Which I'll show you this, I forgot to explain it last episode. But those two bars at the bottom, population and social. Like, all of these are just things. If the rest of them are fine, then you're good. But population and social are the main two. Social just means the same species, and population means all the species of dinosaurs in that one paddock. So, if you need numbers, here's a better one. So going down here, you have ideal population. So this, if I can even speak English, Edmontosaurus can live with a paddock of up to 25 dinosaurs in the same paddock, and it can stand up to 15 of itself. Now, Struthiomimus, however, it can stand up to 25 different creatures 25 different dinosaurs in enclosure, and it can handle a population of itself up to 20. But, what's this? Yeah, why not? I can do that. But then you got this guy, the Triceratops, which I'm about to release another one. As you can see, he's a bit different. Triceratops can only handle up to 16 dinosaurs in the one paddock, and they're not as social as the other two, where the point where they like only a maximum of 6. I will also mention that no matter what it says, if you're going to try put a bunch of dinosaurs together, don't go more than the one less than what it says its max is. Like Triceratops here, maximum of 6 in one paddock together is what it likes. I say only put 5 in, because I've noticed that when you put Triceratops in a paddock with 6 of them in there, there's a slight chance that they will think that there's overpopulation of themselves and they'll start trying to break out and stuff. I don't know if they fixed that from the last couple times I've seen it, but I don't know yet. Incubate and release a Triceratops with 70% genome. I've already got that, so I literally just need to incubate another Triceratops.
I've been monitoring what you've been up to with great interest, and I'm a little disappointed that Dr. Dua came to you for this assignment instead of bringing me into the loop as she should have done. I'll discuss this with her later.
Dun dun dun! Dr. Wu, the bad guy. Oh god, I love him. Alright, so, yeah. And if you're, like, you can see I've kind of done this pathway and I've made another power station, so now there's 3 down. That's because I wanted to make sure I had enough power for my next venture. Because, like, technically, because I put all the I put that down so I could put all the upgrades on and build another hotel without power failure. But, like, this has 50 unused power, that has 2, and that has 0. So technically I have 52 unused power. And that's going to be good, because over here is where I'll probably be building the Ceratosaurus enclosure straight after this one's done. Because, again, I can't do more than one main mission at a time. So I guess I could probably do a mission for Isaac to try to get him up. Creature Dinosaur Rates 2.0. What's mine at the moment? I have a dinosaur rating. Oh, okay, I'm close to 2.0. So yeah, I'm 1.2, so I can keep that for now. Because that's going to be good, because the, either this Triceratops is going to push it there, or it's going to get close, and the Ceratosaurus in the next main mission is going to do it. And the reason why I'm doing the Triceratops mission first is that way I have enough money to both build the enclosure for the Ceratosaurus and create the Ceratosaurus itself. Alright, now, if I remember correctly, she's also going to do a disease thingy. She's going, apparently, like, one of them's going to be sick with a disease. So I'll get a ranger team ready, and I'll refill that in the process. Yeah. Now, Triceratops are probably the only thing in this paddock that will be a threat to the Jeeps, because they are like pretty much anything from the armored dinosaurs, well, I don't actually know. These don't. I'm not sure if these actually count as they might. Oh, okay, so it does. So pretty much most of the armored herbivores, like the Triceratops, the Ankylosaurids, the Stegosaurids, and a few of the other ones, they all act somewhat, even the Iguanodons, some of this, like a small few Hadrosaurs, they act slightly aggressive to the Jeeps and will destroy them if they do enough damage. So that's something to remember. And most carnivores do, I don't think all of them do, but most carnivores do the same thing. They will be slightly aggressive to the Jeeps. They don't auto-attack, but it's like a trigger.
We are on the path to a pure strain dinosaur. This will definitely shift the paradigm. We can't ignore this accomplishment. With your help, obviously. That goes without saying. But under my direction. I think we're a good team. Let's do this again. I'll let you know when.
I've witnessed Dr. Dua flail and fail before. Now with you, she believes she is on her way. Does she really think she can accomplish what I have not?
about the show. These
Yeah,
dinosaurs,
yeah.
we have one unlike any other on the planet. Theme parks rely on drawing people in. And what is more attractive than new dinosaurs? Well,
I'm going to put that there for now, just because I'm going to be doing something with that at the moment. Because I'm going to also, one of the things I'm going to do is, you can play this game however you want. One of the things I wanted to make sure I do is give you a tip on how I build enclosures, because there are some ways that kind of just make things a whole lot easier. At least in my opinion. Alright, so now, what I do when I'm building enclosures is I don't go putting all the fences and all that up first. What I do is I put up viewing galleries first and then connect. Because you don't want to be creating a huge ass enclosure and then just sticking viewing galleries all around. You need, it's more about like kind of space management, I guess you could call it. So if I put this one there. This is what I mean when it's like sometimes there's a little bit of waiting, but I'm not going to skip through this because I'm going to be showing you just how effective this can be. So now this is only for a Ceratosaurus, so I don't need to go like full on gigantic with the enclosure, but it's still a dinosaur that requires a decent amount of space, so you don't want to be giving it like nothing at all either. So I'll put that there, escape, and what I'll do is I will flatten just a little bit. And then smooth it out, so that way we've got no cranky edges. I don't think that's even a term you can use in that, but hey, whatever. I've been able to make up random shit, so why not? Have some fun. Make up your own sayings. A lot of people do it. You only know if it catches on if other people start saying it too, or if it's just something unique to you. Alright, so now with that, I can easily go like this. So enclosure. I'll go boom, boom. I won't make that rounded for now. Now I know it's to some people that she would be throwing off the OCD. I think OCD. Yeah, OCD. That's the word I was looking for. But the reason why I did like that is because then I can easily slip the gate. You were blue. There you go. Because every single enclosure you make needs to have this. Because while you're doing your trips around the park and all that, you need your jeeps to have access to the paddock in case either A, you need it for like a dinosaur trank or medication, or your feeders need resupplying. You can't just... technically you could do the stupid option of constantly just deleting the feeders and replacing new ones, but you might as well just not waste your time and might as well just have them resupplied when you need them. There we go. As you can see, looks nice, and if we go to the viewing management, as you can see, except for that tiny pocket there, almost the entire enclosure is viewable. And it really doesn't matter if there's a tiny pocket. That's the one thing most people don't realize. You don't have to cover every single inch. Making sure that at minimum 85 to 90% of your enclosure is seeable is good, but pockets here and there, be them in, if there's a tiny pocket in the center, something like that, they do not, matter too much. Because at the end of the day, it's not going to... the dinosaurs are going to keep moving around, so they're not going to stay in one location. So now I shall flatten a lot of this out. Now for those that are probably wondering why I just did a lot of flattening and stuff, is because the water gets pretty finicky. If you try to put water on non-flat surface depending on how the land is. Like sometimes if it's just like a little bit bumpy, it won't care. But if there's like different like levels to it, or sometimes it could just be complaining because of the land itself, you won't be able to put the water down properly. You could just have it screwing up a bit. It can just sometimes look dicky. I actually want to put a little bit more water. There we go. Okay, right, not right in front of the gate, you moron. This isn't the only thing I do, just like that the fact that there are trees that you can place yourself, but I would love if a tree could be actually just placed in that gap, but for some reason the game's like, no, I'd rather not. Fuck you and your trees. You know what, screw it. Alright, so now give it the nice polish off with lovely grassland. And the best thing is, if I do technically need to fix this up, I can. That's not going to be a problem. But, actually I might trim that water down just a little bit. There we go. That should be fine. As after quite a few times playing the game, I got a feeling for it. Like, it doesn't take you long, after building a few enclosures, it doesn't take you long to get a feeling of just how much space a dino needs. I think that's going to be new, thank you. I think that's going to be pretty good. So let's find out. Oh, and one thing else to remember is when you are doing the enclosures, the upgraded things here that I'm applying now, make sure you apply them before you incubate the dinosaurs, because, for instance, the success rates, which, as they make it sound, they increase your likelihood of your incubation succeeding. Now, if you do not apply them before you incubate your dinosaur, they will not apply to the currently incubating creature. You need to apply them first. Yeah, so we were just going to go to the resilience, so you can put the extra health thing on him. Or, well, her, technically. And that's all we're going to do for now. We're going to incubate. And we're going to incubate 2 of them. And I'm not going to put a feeder down until I'm about to release them, simply for the fact is the feeders will keep going and releasing the food and using up all the resources, the food gear, like reuse, if I can speak English, pretty much just using itself up until there's nothing left, even while it's not running, which you don't want to happen. So right now I'm just going to wait, and I will put a feeder down when the Ceratosaurus are ready and free to go. While I'm waiting, one thing I can do is with the additives of the scenery, I can put things like this. Actually, I won't use that rock. I will use this one. Now, to a lot of other people, this stuff might not matter too much, but for me, I like this feature because this feature didn't exist when I first played the game, and I like it simply for the fact that it adds a layer of depth to the lake area, simply for the fact that now with the rocks inside, it doesn't just look like this thin sheet of water. It actually looks like there's actually a water level. It's small. It's like a small little thing, but it's something that I really appreciate that they've done. Alright, so that's ready. Why are you taking... I incubated you literally just a moment later, so why are you taking longer than him? while I'm waiting, being that that one's ready, I will put the feeders down. I'll put a goat feeder right here. And right here. Normal feeders like the ones I put in the herbivore enclosure, you would probably want to put them in viewing range of a viewing gallery. Technically these are. The reason why you don't have to care much for the goat feeders is because the goats actually wander about, so there's a good chance they'll just wander into a viewing gallery view anyway. So, don't release. Oh, hello, gorgeous.
Happy guest is what we strive to maintain here on the islands. We do that by making sure their needs are met. In a way, it's kind of like taking care
You'd like a little bit more grassland, okay.
less understanding. Am I right?
I will do that now, actually.
Things are looking good around.
Get rid of the tree.
I love what you're doing with the place.
There you go.
I like what I'm seeing. Let's keep it up. Satisfaction is what we aim to give our guests. Make
Okay.
them appreciate the little
Now it's not much, but at least it's now he's good amount away from the red zone. And this one has the savannah pattern.
A carnivore, I see. This time, a Ceratosaurus. There are distinctive spines that run down its back, and a bladed horn on its head. Just what you don't want to run into when you're out there alone, or in a group.
Cool.
Hey, way to go! We've got our park running at maximum happiness, and our guest numbers are up as a result. That's what makes the entertainment division the envy of the rest. We get the results, am I right?
When the parks are running well, our scientific research improves. Of course, I'd never tell this to Isaac directly.
Heard it?
I was going to add that...
No? No? No. Too late. Heard it. Later, Doc.
Ugh.
Yes, Site C, more commonly known as Isla Muerta, a newly developed island. The name, roughly translated, and I do mean roughly, the island of the dead. Fitting. Humorous, even.
Now, power. Yeah, okay, so as you can see here, there will be a point where I'll be adding more dinosaurs to this enclosure. I put that down just now because I want to put a second feeder down, and this way it's still in view of the viewing gallery. And this way there's no chance that they will starve, because you'd never want your dinosaurs to start getting hungry. Because if they start getting hungry, their comfort's going to go down, which is obvious, and then they're going to want to break out because you're not feeding them. Which is something you do not want to happen. Hello. I'll accept that for now. Now, did I unlock anything researchable? Not yet. Alright, so now that we have got plenty of time in this episode, I'm going to show you one of the first good tricks that the game does not tell you can do. So we're going to pop over, because there's nothing really going on at the moment and we did the main missions. We're going to pop over to Isla Muerta, but literally we're only going there to put 2 or 3 buildings down and then we're leaving. Well, we're going there to have a ranger team fix up a power box and then we'll leave. Because we won't be going to that island completely just yet. This is the island where I get to see velociraptors. Living on Draco retains your reputation with the issuing division.
As if prehistoric creatures weren't enough to contend with, on this next island, Isla Muerta, you may have some meteorological events. You know, storms, extreme weather, that kind of thing from time to time.
As you can see,
Still don't understand why the car was like that, but whatever.
First thing you're going to want to do is fix any damage this storm has caused. You should use a ranger team to get
Still don't understand why right there the car just suddenly stops. It's so fucking annoying.
Guests won't spend their hard-earned dollars huddled in a bunker underground.
There we go.
That must have been quite the storm. And it seems that bad weather is often a precursor to bad behavior.
Alright, so
Dinosaurs.
now we're gonna go to operations,
Butterfly effect.
and we want to put a research center down first.
Create a series of toppling dominoes leading to rampaging dinosaurs. And they don't make a butterfly net big enough to stop them.
No, we want paths. Station, we want to go protection and improve output. Power. Can't stretch all the way over there, so I'll just go there and there. Now we want that, but we also, well, reopen these because we don't really care about that at the moment. We want to put down the fossil center right about over here. And Expedition Center, which we also want to put over here. Now, I'll explain why you need these 3 buildings in particular in a sec. Just give me one moment, my friends. I know it's a bit of a dicky path, but the path isn't like necessary to be worried about at the moment. So, add task. I'll be re-editing these pens in a moment anyway. But hey, but yeah, this is one of the features that the game does not tell you you can even do. I learned this very easily the very first time I played the game, and apparently, I've actually helped a few people out just by telling them that you can do this fact. Right, now all 3 buildings are up. We are literally going to bounce back to the other island. We don't even need to stay here. So, going back to Isla Muerta. Now, before getting to the actual fact here, the one thing that you should be important to know is the fact that, oh shit, that's great. The one thing you need to know is the fact that with each island, they're pretty much on pause when you're not on them. So if you're on one island, any other island that you have unlocked and have stuff on, think of that island literally in a permanent state of pause. The feeders won't need refeeding, the dinosaurs won't die, nothing's literally, like that entire island's just been put on pause until you revisit it. It's good so that we don't have to worry about like coming back to an absolute disaster, but hey. Yeah, skip please. Right, so I'll show you the reason why we just did that, because when you have other research, when you have other research centers on other islands, you unlock the researchables on that island. So for instance, the diseases that unlock on that second island, I can now access on this island. That is good because I don't have to waste that island's money. Each island has its own set amount of money. So they don't share money. They each have a set amount of money that you spend on that island or make on that island. The first thing you can do here is you can put research centers down on islands, then go back to say Island 1 and buy the research for all the things that you now have unlocked without risking any money from that other island. At the same time, you don't have to worry about, say, on Island 1, you don't have to worry about storms, you don't have to worry about literally anything because it's the basic island. You don't have to worry about like the researching and other stuff at the same time. It's pretty simple and easy to manage, but that's actually just the tip of the iceberg. The second thing it allows you to do is putting an expedition center on another island allows you access to the fossils from other islands. So for instance, I can now send expeditions from like right now to Velociraptors, and what's great about it is now it doesn't matter which island I'm on, because either way the fossils are going to end up in my fossil center. The thing that makes it best is the fact that I can use the money from this island to go research, to go search for those Velociraptor fossils. And then, as I said, fossil center, putting the fossil center down as I did, allows me that I can have fossils on, I can go on a bunch of expeditions here, and like I said, Island 3, when you get there, you're on a bankrupt. You are bankrupt. You're in debt and you need to fix yourself out of the hole that the previous person put you in. What it allows you to do is you can actually go to this island, go on a few expeditions, find some for just a bunch of things that you can sell for money, go back to that island or go back to whichever island that you need money on, and the fossil centers all share the same inventory, which allow you that you'll have the ability that if you have, say, 4 items that each sell for about 300,000 each, you can take them with you to the other island to sell for a crap ton of money. And one feature that wasn't in the game when I first played is when you add the inventory space module onto the fossil center. When I originally played, that was like each one was only active for the one that was equipped to it. Now they've made it that every single fossil center shares the combined inventory space. So if all of your, like beforehand you guys I think saw I only had 2 bars, like I only had the 1 bar and the 2 below. Now I have the 4 below at the same to increase it. If I added another one, I'd get another 2. This applies for all of them. So if I had on the fossil center I just made on the other island, if I put a inventory space module on that one, you'd see 2 extra spaces appear, allowing me more to do. And this is just a feature that makes the game so much easier. Like, the combination of those three buildings, putting them on each island, is one of the main things you should focus on, because your most important feat, like your number one priority on any island, is researching the diseases, because they're the things that can land you in a lot of trouble, because you can release a dinosaur, instantly diseased, and it's probably something from that island that you haven't researched yet. Doing this allows you to be prepared without worrying. And of course, like, you have access to the new fossils now, I have access to the building upgrades, I have access to the monorail now, which is something that's great. I have access to like things like the heavy fences, and one thing I'll be grabbing in a moment is that viewing platform. But for also, being that I just put a research center down on another island, I now have access to this. This is the global operations section, which again did not exist when I first played, which is so good. These are just things that when you pay for them, they'll cost a shit ton, but the reward they give is great. So first off, you got this one. Improved marketing, which means that your ticket sales profit by an extra 5%. It pretty much means that your tickets are going to give you more money. This allows that if you have, say, dinosaurs that break out and eat people or attack people, the lawsuits will be reduced by 20%, so less money taken away from you. The Hatchery Insurance pretty much is an extra upgrade, so that way your dinosaurs won't die as easy when they're being incubated. Your improvement construction, which pretty much just means that your buildings will be built quite faster, and mind you, these have levels, so they'll be, I believe they can all go up to like 5.0 maybe, I don't remember. And then you've got yeah, I'll do that in a sec. Then you got the feeder cost reduction, meaning that your feeders will cost less. But then you got this one, which, well, for Isla Muerta East, which I believe is, I think that's one of the Doctor Who ones, maybe. This allows it that when you've trained a dinosaur and you have to transport it, or if it's trained / dead and you have to sell it, you can transport them faster, which makes it a lot easier for, like, say, if you had a few dinosaurs that were cranky in the enclosure because they don't like a lot of population and they're stuck in an enclosure that has a lot. You can trank all 3 of them and rapidly place them in another enclosure before they get cranky even more. Because sometimes those said dinosaurs require like 3 to 5 of their same species just to be happy. So just fun, little like niche things that actually help your life be a whole lot easier. While I'm waiting, I should probably check the feeders. Okay, that's all good. But yeah, it's just something that helps a lot. Alright, so yeah, so one thing I want to show you now is the fact that I put them down because those two and that are now making these guys happy, because these guys are quite a bit away from everything else, so they were getting cranky about not having like shopping, food, drink, fun, stuff like that in the toiletries. But if we go to viewer management now, you'll see that if I go to the monorail symbol, this guy is complaining that it is a bit too far away to travel, which this is where it's like starts to play into a role. Like, I can buy it now. I'm probably going to be researching other stuff first, but at least now if I want to, I can get it. Right now I'm doing the viewing platform because eventually when I get them, I'll be putting long necks in here, and I will need, like, I do like to have like the viewing gallery like right there. I'll be terraforming and getting rid of all these trees beforehand, and eventually I'll add them back, but not just yet. Actually, while I'm waiting, I might as well put some back here just to give a little bit of atmosphere. But yeah, so but at least now you guys know that it helps to know that you can, the island's research centers, the expedition centers, and the fossil centers are all shared. So it allows you just to like abuse the money you have on other islands to research stuff that you've just unlocked. And as you can see, like if I go to my star rating, I'm already at 5-star facility rating. Like I'm almost maximum. If I wanted to get up a bit more, I would just need to like maybe put something in more into viewing galleries, which I'm about to do, and the transport. Then I'd be a perfect 5 with literally just what I have, and I haven't scratched the surface of this place. But what I will do now is I will quickly put this on, because this is quite nice. Why do you have to be so fucking curvy? I don't want curvy. Fuck off with your curve. And there we go. So now I adjusted the fence, like I adjusted the fence a little bit. I had to flatten a little bit of this out because it looked really wonky with the pathway. But now I've got a viewing gallery right there. Now, not only does that have a wide range, which as you can see covers even a lot more of the enclosure, and as you can see there's a tiny gap in the center that is unviewable, but that won't matter because the dinosaurs won't stay there for long periods of time. Maybe when they're socializing they could have a chance to be in that little gap, but like Vita there and there perfectly in line. I have it all set up, and I like to disguise this one a little bit, but now I have it so that way people can view like the dinosaur long range, and it's going to be great when I want to add long necks and other like pretty much like the bracts and stuff like this into the enclosure. I'll probably add just a little bit of vegetation there. I'll also probably, I think the Edmontosaurus and that will be fine, but the Trikes, oh, they won't care. Okay, cool. We had a slight dead down just a moment ago, but it was moved, so we're good. And yeah, so like now, right now I've got the monorail being researched. I have literally the ability to have all this new stuff researched now. And yeah, like it's pretty easy at this point. Probably next episode I will be, I think I need to, oh, is there what is there to unlock on these things? Probably do a little bit more on this island, but there's not much to do that's important on camera, but I will, like, probably a lot of the next episode will be on Island B, so you get to see the velociraptors and all that. But for now, hope you enjoyed the video so far, my friends. I hope any of this stuff is interesting or factual to you guys. But yeah, with things as fun, like as thought, episode 2, things start to pick up. So yeah, for now, my friends, make sure you hit the bell notification icon down below to be notified by any of our videos that we post every weekend for more of our shenanigans. And I shall see you guys in the next video, so leave a like, subscribe, and we shall see you in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.